What's up guys, it's Cyclo here again. I'm doing another video on the Chuwi because today I thought I would have lose the laptop because I've messing around with the BIOS and I ended up with a black screen. So it was like, because I touched something here, I was trying to boost the graphics, the integrated graphics, it's the Intel UHD 600, and I've been messing up with all this around. These are memory allocation, so it was not a problem. And then I found this GOP driver, and it says enable GOP driver will unload VBIOS, disable it will load VBIOS. And I thought by disabling it that it would somehow unleash the GPU, because on the Lapbook Pro the UHD 600 is limited to 450 MHz instead of 700. And after disabling this feature, it restarted and I ended up with a black screen. And even if I restarted the computer, even if I disconnect the battery or whatever, the screen would have stayed completely black. And it's the same case that when everyone think that their laptop is bricked, but in fact everything else works. You have the keyboard, the LED status keeps working, you can somehow hear the speakers when the laptop boots up, but you always got a black screen. And this because it's still that there's no VBIOS inside of it. So if you just disable the graphic driver here, then there will be nothing to display, and it will also not work with the micro HDMI. So this happened to me this morning. The screen stayed black, and I found a way how to recover that BIOS default settings when your screen is black and you still have your keyboard. So to do that, I'll show you how to do that. So basically it's not hard. The only thing you have to do is take a USB key and go download the BIOS file, and just you have to reset the BIOS just to reinstall it. There's only 2 blind key to push at the start of the laptop, and then you're good to go. So I'm gonna show you right now. Alright, so I found this BIOS file on the Chuwi forum. Apparently people got that problem when they are trying to install Linux on their machines, and I'm sure probably Linux does the same thing. It resets somehow the graphics driver, and it just completely gives you a black screen loop, and you can't do anything about it except resetting the BIOS. And any people will try to flash the chip or whatever, but the only thing you need to do is this. So you're gonna download the version of your BIOS. If you have a 4 GB RAM BIOS, I think it's this one, and if you got the 8 GB Chuwi of memory, DDR4 is this one. So I've selected that one. Mine is a 8 GB DDR4. So you download that one, and once you've done that, you should have this archive file here. You're gonna extract it, and you're gonna get all of that. Once you've done this, you're gonna put your USB key in there. Make sure it's not a too big one, so that you can format the USB key in FAT32. So I got the key here. Make sure that the format is FAT32. Alright, and you're gonna name it WinPE. Alright, WINPE in caps, like that. And then what you're gonna do is copying all the file in there and put them inside your USB key. right? Just like that. FAT32, and you're copying all the files you just downloaded. That's the BIOS file. Okay, so once you've done that, I'm gonna eject your USB key, and you're gonna just, of course I'm doing this on the Chuwi, alright? If you don't have access to, you will need to have access to a computer to do these steps, okay? Because you need to download, of course, the software and format the USB key if you need that, and so okay. So let's say you got another computer. Then you're gonna go on your Chuwi. So it's gonna be like that. It's have to start off. Make sure the power plug is connected and everything is off. So you're gonna plug the USB key inside the Chuwi, and then simultaneously you're gonna push the power button and the F7 key. The F7 key is gonna trigger the boot menu, and you're gonna hit that key several times, you know, for a moment. So I'm gonna show you with the screen on. So mine is no more black because I fixed it. So you're gonna see how much time you have to do that before it pops up. So power button simultaneously with the F7 button. And when the LED starts, I stop pushing the power button, I realize it. And does it work? Yeah, and it's working, you see. Okay, so you should still have this even if your screen is black. So now what you need to do is just to press the down arrow. You're just gonna down one time. So even if that is black, okay, you just press down to get on that row, and then you click to enter. You won't see that, but it's gonna do it by itself. So if you have a black screen, you're not gonna do that. It's gonna reset your BIOS and flash it to this version. I don't know what version it is, but I think it's a common version for all the Chuwi out there, even for the tablets or something. So it's gonna do that. So you don't see anything because admit you got your black screen in there. You're just gonna let it for like 2 or 3 minutes. You know, it's pretty fast indeed. Now it's gonna check a lot of things. It's gonna reflash. So and you will know when everything is okay, because after it's flashed the laptop, it's gonna reboot, and because the USB key is plugged in, it should boot on the USB key and flash it again and again and again. But you will see that once it's gonna finish to reset the BIOS, it's gonna reboot on the USB key, and then you're gonna have your screen back. So the only thing you will need is finish the second time, you know, BIOS resetting with your screen, and then you just unplug your USB key and just restart the laptop. Alright, so I'm back after a few minutes because I had to redo the whole things with the key and resetting the BIOS because it messed up. The thing is that if your screen is black and you're doing this process, just let the laptop, don't touch it, okay? Don't force it, don't touch the power button for like at least 5 minutes, okay? My advice is really to wait until it shows the screen again. So once you reach the second time rebooting with the second time erasing BIOS loop, okay? Because while the USB key is inside the port, it's gonna, each time it's gonna reboot and finish the BIOS reset, it's gonna redo it again and again because it's gonna boot on that one. So my advice is really, you know, make sure that your screen is going back, and then when it's gonna finish, you know, when the screen is back and it's starting to reset the BIOS again, just let it do, watch the screen, and when the screen at the end just comes black, wait a little bit, like maybe 20-30 seconds, okay? Then what you're gonna try to do, I'm saying try because the laptop is gonna force, try to shut down the laptop. You just press the power button, and if it doesn't want to shut down, I mean, I had that problem. I pushed a long press on the power button and it just blinked. The little status bar on the keyboard just blink, and it just keeps stay on and still have no screen, okay? So, but just try to force it, and power, long press on the power button, and somehow at a time it's gonna shut down. And so you're just gonna remove the USB key, and then you power it again and let it do this thing, and it should just restart and get your screen back. It's a bit random, it feels like random, but it ended up to work twice for me, like today. So I think it should work for you too if this problem is like mine. But definitely it's a graphic driver problem, so it should work too. And don't forget that you can do anytime, you know, at any number of times you want to resetting this BIOS. You can do that again and again, just by doing this F7 down arrow and press enter at the start of the laptop if you have any problem. Alright, that's it. That was a pretty long video. Maybe I talked too much, I don't know, but if you have that problem, I really hope that this solution helped you. And yeah, it was not really easy to find any solution. I had to grab this and this and this by here on the internet, and so yeah, I hope this is gonna help. See you soon.